is War for the week of 10/22. As always, I'm your host, Cody, and with me, as always, the jolly one, Richard.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
It's going alright. How are you?
It's going good.
Yeah.
So, TLC.
Yep.
TLC. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Wasn't
And
bad.
sometimes stairs.
Yeah, and sometimes stairs. So, it wasn't bad. It wasn't
Yeah, it was
fully
not bad.
great, but
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
So
One of the better pay-per-views, for sure.
yeah,
In the last couple of months.
Hell in a Cell was
Like,
okay.
yeah.
Hell in a Cell was decent. It wasn't great, but I think this might have been better than Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, a little bit.
I can see that.
There
at
wasn't
least.
a bamboo prison.
Yeah, Punjabi prison. We
Yeah.
don't. Hey, WWE, quit doing the Punjabi fucking prison, okay? Quit doing that shit. Quit doing it. We didn't need it the first time with Batista. We didn't need it this time with Jinder.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, so TLC, I think the first highlight, and I got my notes right here, so I looked down, I'm sorry, guys. Asuka debut, man.
It's fantastic.
Um,
I loved it.
Everyone keeps saying that it should have been a squash match, but I like the fact that they actually played Emma up
Yeah.
for the first time in months.
She actually wrestled pretty well.
Yeah,
So,
and she's a solid wrestler, and they let that be shown. Now, granted, everyone's big deal with it is that she has been squashed for like the past
yeah.
2 months, and she stood her own against Asuka when she shouldn't have. But I feel that it was like her taking all that she had and just giving it to her. And of course, Asuka wins the debut
Obviously.
as everyone knew
as
was
she
going to
always
happen.
should.
But so just to get through that one, because we're going to talk a lot about 2 matches on here. The rest of them we're kind of just going to blow kind of through. If you haven't watched TLC, go watch it, because most of the matches were solid. They were really solid. Second match of the night. We're not talking about the pre-show at all, because we went straight with Asuka. So match 2, Kendrick and Gallagher versus Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann.
Yeah.
Was Jack Gallagher finally has heel entrance music.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why they haven't just put him in like black and white barred stripes instead of street clothes.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean, props to him for wrestling in fucking slacks and
yeah,
shit. So.
Oxfords and slacks.
Yeah.
Just dude's feet have to be killing him.
Yeah.
But then Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann coming out in the all green and black gear.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool. I would love to see them as a tag team, kind of move them away from 205 Live.
Yeah.
Give them like a tag team name and let them come over. I would dig that. Sick match.
It was not bad.
Cedric Alexander killed it. Did a lot of really cool stuff. Rich Swann always has good matches, in my opinion, which the Brian Kendrick always does too, and so does Jack Gallagher. Yeah, the Brian Kendrick.
Gallagher with his headbutts. He's gonna have problems later. I've said it over and over.
You know he's hit like someone's hitting
Yeah.
the side for
But
that impact,
still.
but it's still like
If he messes it up, that's gonna hurt.
oh yeah,
Like-
oh yeah. It looks phenomenal every time because you see the just
Yeah.
and you're just like, ooh, that looks like it hurt. And my thing is, I never see the slap. Anytime he does the headbutt, I don't see who does the thigh slap,
Mhm.
and so I can't tell. And so
Only time
Proud
you
for
can
that.
really tell that they make a sound is when he has his arm up.
oh
And
yeah,
that was the only time in that match that I was really like, oh, okay, they're not really actually hitting.
yeah.
So
But that was solid tag team match. Next up, women's championship match with Mickey versus Alexa. If Mickey won, she tied Trish Stratus for the most women's titles.
yeah,
If Alexa won, it just stays the way it is. And,
Alexa.
which granted, she used heel tactics the whole match, which was great, of just throwing her into the turnbuckle any chance she got, using the ropes to her advantage, and it's working. Alexa is working, and if you had told me in NXT that they were going to split her from Blake and Murphy and that she would be
Yeah.
champion over and over or hold the championship for a long period of time, I would have been like, oh, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But it works now. And the one thing that you know what the real winner of that match was? Denim. All the denim.
No, they were having a jacket off, man.
Yeah, dude.
One was sleeveless, one wasn't.
Yeah.
The sleeveless one.
The sleeveless one.
Sleeveless always looks better.
But no, yeah, every wrestling, and I just had to, like, go with the trend this week, but every wrestling podcast has been like, denim. So I was like, yeah, I'll just roll with it, who cares? But it was a good match, but
yeah, it's not bad.
I didn't think they were going to put it on Mickey this close back. Yeah. So, I don't... What do you guys think? Do you think that... do you want to see Mickey James with the title again? Like, I'm making a face right now of, like, do you want to? But it's like, I wouldn't be mad if she came out as champ. I would be like, oh, okay.
She could have, like, a short... As long as it's, like, a short reign, and then put it on Asuka.
No, so. Or yeah, but I really want... WWE won't do it, I don't think, but I want Asuka to have that WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
And just
not have
a really good match and beat someone at Mania for it and just be like, fuck yes.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't even have to do matches except for, like, maybe once a month.
Yeah.
On, like, a show.
Well, I think what they're going to do is they're going to start jobbing her.
Yeah.
Like, hardcore. Like, we'll see, like, some jobbers from city to city or, like, women that we don't see used a lot. Mm-hmm. And Asuka will just beat the hell out of them. That way it can be, oh, she's making her way through the WWE women's division and just killing everybody.
Are you going to talk about the walkout and stuff?
Yeah, the walkouts I've got down here. I want to talk about those because those happened before, which we had a podcast scheduled to talk about one of the walkouts, and then another walkout happened, but we're going to get to that here in a minute for sure. I have like TLC, and I've got some New Japan news, and I've got stuff under that too.
Okay.
So,
cool.
But, so after that, bada boom, Riddle's 2-time champion in the room. How you doing?
Oh, man. It was a good match, yeah.
It was.
And he's still winning by heel tactics.
Yeah.
As he should, so.
Everyone's getting pissed off with him and Jinder doing that, and I'm sorry.
It's fine.
They need to, because that's the kind of champions they are, and that builds the hype for it, because then they're like, people will be like, oh, well, they got beat by this person. Yeah, because they didn't have help. Or, yeah, because they didn't do this. It's like, but with Enzo, as much backstage drama as he's causing, I think he's truly working. Mm-hmm. And trying to be better. You can see a little bit of that in his technique this time around.
Friggin' going out there even with a raspy voice.
Yeah, and
just still doing stuff.
Doing this whole spiel and using the voice to his advantage and everything like that. But yeah, just boom, right to the eyes, got him. Kalisto, he's doing lucha things. That's what he was doing. He was doing lucha things. Yeah, with Kalisto, man.
You made a good point. Like, my favorite point is like when he's doing his lucha chant, but no one wanted to fucking go with it,
because I feel Kalisto has that old school lucha in him, that where you want to like pump up the crowd, and that gets you your energy, like that Hulk Hogan energy where you're like, oh, the crowd's pumping me up, brother. Like, it's like every time he was like, lucha. Only, like, my favorite thing is, like, the only way I described it while we were watching it is when he went over to the barrier and he kept doing it until one of the people went, lucha. I was like, it was like a Jeb Bush moment of please clap.
Please clap.
Please clap.
Please lucha.
Yeah, like, please lucha. Hashtag please lucha. But it was just like, man, like, holy hell, he tried all match. Not even just doing the finger things of that, but him being like, come on, or like hitting the mat like, and it was like,
and him doing his like arm thing, like trying to build it up,
and the whole night, nothing. Enzo gets up to be like, yeah, and the whole crowd just like, yeah, and like, which granted, it wasn't like a big pop for Enzo till the end, but like, even when he was coming out, everyone being, even with his raspy voice, everyone still being like, my name is Enzo Amore, and like everything. But then when Kalisto came out, even with his music playing and him going like, like the whole crowd just kind of like,
we're like, oh, okay.
It's like no one really asked for Kalisto back, I think is what it was like, and so they were just like, oh,
yeah,
now we have to do this on 205. Okay. And so, but I feel bad for him in a way because I was like, man, you were trying to pump up because he's got that old lucha in him to where he's like, come on.
Well, I mean, even ever since the brand split and splitting him and Sin Cara apart, they just haven't been.
Yeah, they haven't been the same.
Yeah.
The only way you'd be able to save them, I think, is put them back together as the Lucha Dragons. As much as it would make them mad.
Yeah.
But have them do a good match, have them win a title or something, and just roll with it and see what happens. Mm-hmm. That would be the only way that you could go with it to see if they would be good again, or put them back as a team, turn them heel.
Yeah.
As much as you don't want like a heel luchador like that, you really want the unmasked people to be heels in America most of the time, at least. It could work, you know. Like, not of course not all luchas are heels because like Penta is heel most of the time anyway, and he's got his mask on all the time. So.
Is he in Lucha Underground?
Yeah, he's going. I think he's still going by Pentagon Dark and Lucha Underground.
Oh, okay.
And he's like Penta de la Om now and everything else, or okay. Penta El Om, something like that. But shout out Penta, you rule, bro. Everything you do is great. You're a great wrestler. But of course, match ends with the heel tactics. He's the second two-time cruiserweight champion, which I think there's only is. If he loses again, he'll be the third. He'll be the only three-time cruiserweight champion so far.
Yeah, because it's been Neville.
Yeah, Neville
Brian
twice. Kendrick. Was it Kendrick twice?
I can't remember. It was. I don't remember.
Who did Rich Swann beat? Rich Swann beat Kendrick?
I don't know, because that was that whole after they took it from TJP. Yeah, after that they switched it out too many times. I feel like
until Neville. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, with that, to me, next up is the match of the night. Hands down, and really it's not because I'm wearing this T-shirt or anything, but
don't do anything that might get us a cease and desist.
No, we'll just one sweet it. But no, leader versus leader, Finn Balor and Demon Gear going up against the phenomenal AJ Styles, and
it was a good match.
Oh boy, on such a short notice. And them not really having time to work anything out.
There's a few spots where you could tell that they were just kind of talking out.
Yeah, they were. Because there was especially a part, the camera turned away real quick on Finn, because it was when they were on the ground and Finn turned to him and he said something really quick, but the mics weren't close enough for you to hear it. And then they turned the camera and Finn roll out.
Well, it's like what I said when they roll out onto the table. I swear, he was probably like, all right, next 2 or 3 things, let's do this, and this.
Yeah.
Because they did the whole, they both hit with the same move 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when they worked that out.
Yeah, I think that they were like, let's do the standard three-peat, and then let's do some stuff. Because they're both known to do that. Both of them aren't really known for working out beforehand. At least not that I know of. I don't think AJ or Finn have ever been like, hey, let's go to the ring and work this stuff out real quick. Usually both of them are on the fly style guys, which what makes them great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with it being short notice, it could have benefited them to be like, hey, while there's no one in the arena, let's go work something out real fast or something like that. But even with they not doing it and them talking it out in the ring and doing everything, it's still great. Yeah. Everyone's talking about it being like a match of the year contender, which it's 2017, people. I'm sorry. Dominion won. The draw between Okada Omega was too good of a match, I think. And if it's not that, it's Kushida versus Ospreay. And so, but I do think it should be in the running for sure for match of the year. It definitely needs to have it's WWE match of the year probably.
Yeah.
Hands down. I can't really think of another match that would be better as of right now that I know of. I'm trying to think if... Was the 2 out of 3 Falls match at... That wasn't at Mania weekend, was it? That was Survivor Series last year for NXT.
Oh,
for
NXT.
DIY Revival?
I don't remember.
That was last year, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was like Survivor Series weekend.
I don't remember.
Someone, if you're listening, correct me, please. I don't remember who DIY fought on Mania weekend. It might have been Authors of Pain. But it was so sick. And then Finn going over, I think, was the best decision, especially with it being a Raw pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And them needing to get Finn desperately out of that Bray Wyatt hellhole. Which I love Bray, but they are just wasting him away.
Yeah.
And I think it was good for Demon makeup and everything too. AJ coming out, and then of course the Too Sweet just boom.
That's what made that match.
And,
I feel like.
and that's before the match even began. The whole "this is awesome,"
Yeah.
and then Too Sweet, pop, pop, Too Sweet, like it just was so great. I think I think one of my favorite pictures of the match is probably when Finn gets thrown into the guardrail or guard padding, whatever you want to say. And he's sitting there, and the whole crowd behind him has like Balor shirts and Bullet Club shirts, and they're all Too Sweeting. And then Finn puts his arms out and he just goes,
yeah,
and then runs at AJ. And so I was like, I hope someone got that picture. I hope one of the photographers at ringside was like, got it. But yeah, the moment of them in the ring, Too Sweeting and like looking at each other and talking to each other, it was a good enough moment for WWE to make that their header on like Facebook and Twitter. So. I think that'll be like the moment of the year.
Yeah.
Them Too Sweeting each other. Was great. Fantastic match. I do believe it should be a match in the contending for match of the year. Do I think it'll win? No. Not by a chance. We still have too many other matches that have happened this year that have been so good. And there's a lot of time to come. But then afterwards, on WWE.com exclusive, Finn being like, it took everything in me and in the Demon to beat the phenomenal AJ Styles. That's why he is phenomenal, because he came and he brought it, and he was like, but I think the WWE Universe needs Finn versus AJ too. And I was like, fuck, when can we make that happen? Like, holy shit.
Rumble.
Maybe Rumble weekend? That'd be cool. Or at least both of them be in the Rumble at the same time, and just stare at each other, and then start like just... Next on the list for TLC. Bless their heart for this match. Jason Jordan versus Elias Sampson.
Well, I mean, they built it up like 2 times in a row.
Yeah. You knew something was coming.
And just the crowd getting kind of restless towards the end.
See, my thing is, the first time, crowd was into Elias. It was hilarious. And then my favorite thing is when, I don't remember who it was that brought this up. I don't want to name drop because I might be wrong. But someone brought up on a show that they were like, oh yeah, it was great to know that the pop was for the vegetables, not Jason Jordan. And I was like, oh shit. And that's the problem. I'll be the first guy to say it. I've been one of the guys to say it on past episodes. I fucking loved American Alpha. Like the second that t-shirt dropped, I bought that t-shirt. I was all for them winning the titles at Mania that weekend in Dallas. I was all for them, having title reigns. And when they won the SmackDown Tag Team titles last year, I was like, fuck yes, American Alpha's champions again. And, I fucking loved American Alpha, but they were just like, I was hoping they would turn them heel to keep something going. And they were like, split them up. It was just like, fucking why?
Yeah, like in one
why
week
did we do this?
they split up American Alpha and Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
Like...
Two people that were actually selling you merch.
2 big tag teams. They were just like, hey, let's split them. I mean, Enzo's still doing all right. Cass is injured.
Yeah,
so.
still on injured reserve.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Fuck, I loved American Alpha. I loved American Alpha.
You got American Beta, though.
Hey, bro, American Beta is doing pretty sick. They're number 1 contenders.
There's a lot more medals going around in that one.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, Jason Jordan goes over in a botchy finish. I think they botched it and they knew they needed to finish the match. Between botching it and just the crowd getting restless. Okay, if there's one thing
really bad.
The WWE has to know, they need to quit having these buffer matches at pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Just like last pay-per-view, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler should have opened the pay-per-view. And didn't. It was that buffer match in between the WWE Championship and the Hell in a Cell, which already pisses me off that they don't trust their title match to either be the headliner or the match before the cage. And so I was like, what the fuck? And so this time around it was like, oh hell yeah, we have this great match. Now it's time for, the big match. And then it was like, oh, here's Jason Jordan, Elias Sampson. It was like,
okay.
Oh, we're doing this. We're not going to set this up for Raw?
Yeah.
Okay. Which granted, I like Elias Sampson. I hated him as the Drifter. Like, I was just kind of like, it worked a little bit, but like him coming to the ring and then like sitting in the corner and just kind of like waiting for his opponent and Corey Graves and Tom Phillips being like, oh, how'd he get back here from Australia? How'd he do that? And like all that stupid shit. It was just like, man, it doesn't work. And then when they brought him to the main roster and they gave him the guitar and they're basically, and it was hilarious that we said it. We were like, they should just turn him into Jeff Jarrett. like turn him into a new age Jeff Jarrett, like just fuck it. And then the next night on Raw, just smashes him with the guitar. And we're like, he did it! He fucking did it! But
and fuck Jason Jordan's arm up.
Boy, hit him square with those strings. That's why Jeff Jarrett always hit people from the back of the guitar.
With the back of it.
That match was a match. But next up, the Shield return, kind of.
Kind of.
In case y'all didn't know, the reason that AJ and Roman and Bray were not there, or not AJ,
Not
AJ. The reason that AJ
Yeah.
and Angle were there, and the reason that Bray and Reigns weren't,
There you
Bray, Reigns, and Bo Dallas, and
The other guy from
Other
the
girl.
Mr. Rush.
well, that's Bo Dallas.
Oh. No, I mean like the other guy.
No, he wasn't there just because he wasn't there. He wasn't allowed at ringside for the match or whatever, because he was there on Raw next night.
Okay.
Frickin' Curtis Axel. I was like, who's Mr. Perfect's kid? I was like, oh yeah, Curtis Axel. But they're all out with meningitis. So hopefully it is not as bad as it can be, because Bray is something they need. Reigns is, as much as sometimes we trash on Reigns as much as we can, he is something that now with the Shield being prominent, they have to have Reigns back. And Bo Dallas, of course, him and Bray traveled together, and so it's, of course, it would happen with both of them. But that's, man, that's nothing you want to put up with. But Kurt Angle and AJ stepped in. Angle looked not really rusty. I just feel that WWE were trying to protect him. In this match a lot, because we knew he wasn't rusty. The matches with like Cody and matches with everyone else that he had in WCPW and ICW and all stuff were all really good matches. So he's not like rusty. He's probably got the year rust on him because he's been back since April and hasn't been able to wrestle. But he was cleared. Had a damn good match. Gave us a ton of cool memes. Especially like, hey, when you want to play Call of Duty with your sons, and he has the vest and he's putting his hands up. He's like, yeah,
it's so good.
But it was hilarious because I was texting
the Kane faces,
the Kane faces were
my favorite one is just when he looks at the camera and just tilts his head sideways, just like what.
But that return, them coming down, circling the ring, and then doing that. But a lot of
Braun is in some garbage trash.
Yeah, Braun's in the garbage can somewhere. Babyface Braun, I guess. I say that with the face I have because they're like, everyone's like, is it a babyface turn? Is it Braun going is Braun going babyface? And I'm like, I don't think he is. I think what they're gonna do is just use Braun more as Kane is the bad guy in this situation.
Yeah.
Braun is still like the monster, but he's gonna be like the good side of the monster, and so he'll be the Dr. Jekyll, why Kane is Hyde, I think, type ordeal. But I'm ready for the whole garbage truck entrance. And the Miz and them to be like, why is the garbage truck here? And then it opened and be like, I'm not finished with you! Like, I was like, oh, fuck, put the belt on Braun. But no, it was a good match.
It went on too long. It's the only problem I had. It
was way too long, and with them riding Angle out of half of the story to come back at the last like 7-8 minutes of the match made it was 5-on-2. It was
because like when he came out with the Shield, everyone was complaining that he didn't come out to his own music, and then he does later.
And that's like we were texting people in the wrestling threads and stuff that we have, and the second that Kurt Angle's music hit, everyone in the thread was like, who the fuck's about to get Angle slammed? And then everybody got Angle slammed. One of my favorite things that someone pointed out, if you ever want to change the Titantron real quick, just power slam somebody onto it real quick. Because in case you didn't notice, it still had the American, like, Kurt Angle intro on the Titantron, and Kurt throws Cesaro over him, and when it lands, Cesaro lands, Titantron changed. And so everyone was like, oh!
Okay.
But no, yeah.
I guess a gif of
do you know who the real enemy of this match was? The tables no selling for Dean Ambrose.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
Like,
I don't know who went out shopping for their tables. But
I don't know who rigged those tables on Sunday, but you rigged the legs really well.
Yeah,
You did not rig the table well at all. Which, granted, we see it a lot in New Japan, but that's because New Japan doesn't use the same kind of tables. New Japan uses those To where if they break, they break. If not, you're just going through the middle
tables
of the
in
table.
general, because Cesaro hit the back of his head right off the bat.
And nothing. Yeah, there was so much about those tables I just did not want to give. But Sheamus sure as hell went through it with no problem.
Cesaro went through one. Yeah.
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 It was a...
Dean, though.
Dean. Dean didn't get to go through nothing.
Yeah. Now, the first time I was like, all right, that kind of...
It's like,
And then the second time I was like, all right, y'all need to...
someone needs to rig some shit better.
Yeah.
And then I love how that was one of the first things that one of our buddies pointed out. He was like, who the fuck thought hanging all those chairs from the ceiling was a good idea? And then just the whole thing of...
Yeah.
I was like, get the fuck out.
It's so good, bullshit. Though. It looked so good.
It looked good, but they rigged it to be that good.
No,
and so it was like, that's why they had like one open, one side, one down. It's like they knew it would go coo. But,
And then just the shot of like all the chairs on top of Braun.
Yeah.
And you could tell like he was probably out of the way, like in that pit.
And then when the chairs were moving, it was him getting under the chairs.
And he just maneuvered into them. Yeah.
Because it was in the hold where if you weren't like on one of the upper seats, like, what's he doing? You would have probably been able to tell.
Yeah.
I don't know if I dig the whole Kane Braun stuff.
I mean, it's just two big dudes going after each other. It's fine.
Like, which it's better because I know a lot of people were complaining when Kane came back, like majorly, he was only doing like old Kane stuff to where he would fight a jobber, chokeslam him on pin 1, 2, 3, and you could kind of see on his face that he was like, oh, fuck, I guess we're doing this bullshit again. But there's not a lot of room for him anymore. And I say that and people are going to get mad because they'll be like, he's fucking Kane, he deserves to be there. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be there. I'm just saying that when you have Braun and you have these other big guys like Big Cass and everybody, it's like, is there still room for Kane to come in and just do his thing and without it just being that typical Kane thing where he squashes people and goes? It's like, I don't...
The storyline I want to see going forward is that Kane is upset that Roman retired his brother.
Yeah, go back to that, like, we're brothers.
Yeah.
That whole thing. That'd be really cool. See him go out after Reigns, but I don't see him doing it with it being the Shield stuff.
Yeah.
I think all the people in the Shield, I think their singles titles are pretty much done. They're just going to be, they might, after they lose the titles and regain them, they might freebird the titles. To where it's like, oh, hey, we're like New Day. We'll freebird the titles if we want to.
Yeah.
Or Sanity. I think Sanity's doing that too. I think they're freebirding the titles because they won as Sanity. But yeah, it's, man, that match, like, I feel like this usually went on too long. The garbage truck didn't make any sense. They kind of just worked it in there with the promos of like, yeah, we're going to take out the trash. It's like, get the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it happened. I think that pretty much just... It went. The ending with them circling Miz.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is Miz not running the other way. Because what I think should have happened is he ran the other way. And Braun should have been on the ramp. And attacked Miz.
Yeah.
And then just looked at him. Stared at the rest of them. And walked away. That's how I would have done it. But then, of course, they wanted to bump up Braun more. And Kane more. So they'll have to do it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's TLC, man. Shield and Angle winning. 1, 2, 3. With Angle doing like the full overpin, and it's a good pay-per-view. It was good. It wasn't great. It was good. Better pay-per-view in a while.
Yeah.
But Survivor Series is looking real good.
Should be really good.
Really good. So, to move on to other news, and I'll try not to be as monotone. I know I'm being really monotone. Sorry, I've got a lack of personality right now. Some New Japan ROH news, because granted we're a little bit behind. Yeah. We haven't got to record. Just want to give a huge shout out. Will Ospreay, you fucking deserve that title. Junior Heavyweight Champion. It's like him and Kushida during the finals of Best of the Super Juniors. Sweet Jesus, it was so good. It was so good. And then their World Cup match together was really good. And then this one of just Will Ospreay beating him, getting the title, like him holding the title up and just being as happy as he could be. It's like, holy fucking shit, dude. They put on a clinic on multiple separate occasions and just absolutely killed it. And so I'm really, really proud of him. I'm a big Will Ospreay guy. Have been for a while. Dig it. I dig it. I dig all the heel stuff that he's been doing too with Chaos and just doing everything he's doing. Like, it's so crazy good. But some more Will Ospreay news. He got hit with a cease and desist by the WWE. So now the Young Bucks aren't the only one with a cease and desist out there in New Japan and Ring of Honor.
What was his for?
He has been coming out with like kitten makeup on, like whiskers right here, and his nose painted, and like getting down on the ground, acting like a cat before the matches and stuff like that. And so everyone's been like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's what everyone's been like, okay." But he made 2 T-shirts to go with it. One that looks like the original Shinsuke one that said "Strong Style has arrived," but it said "Kitty Style has arrived," and it had 2 balls of yarn at the bottom. And then he had another one that said "Pause is War," and it looked exactly like the old logo, and it just said "Pause." And WWE slapped it on him, and on Twitter he was like, "Hey, I got hit with a cease and desist. Now the Young Bucks aren't the only one getting into some shit with it." And then he responded with, "Just so you guys are aware, this is completely on me. I was in the wrong here. You know, I should have thought it out more." And I give it to him. He was just trying to have some fun with his T-shirts and his new little gimmick that he's doing.
Wouldn't that? And does that not fall under parody?
I think because it was so close to the originals and not a lot changed about it other than the words, that might have been what happened. But it might have also just been WWE being like, "Fuck you, independents," like they've been doing for the past couple months.
I was gonna say, what is the name of?
Yeah, what's the name of our show?
What is this show? And we kind of use the font.
But yeah, no. So I think that they might just be attacking people to attack people at this point. WWE is just like, "Oh, fuck you, you're doing good. Fuck you, we're gonna try to stop you." But immediately he was like, "I'll have new merch soon. I'm very sorry for everyone that wanted the shirts." Because as far as I'm aware, he didn't get to sell any of them. He put them up, and people that ordered, they were like, "Nope, can't send the orders out." And so it was one of those like, well, fuck. And so it's one of those things. But next up, #OneSweet. In case y'all haven't seen, the guys have all been doing in the Bullet Club, because of the cease and desist, have not been able to do a 2 sweet hand gesture. I'll get more into the camera. Pop. You can put a bar over that, like, boop. But now they're doing, like, when Kenny comes to the ring, he'll just do like this.
Yeah.
And touch people on like the one, and then when they're in the ring, they'll go boom like that. And so it's like, it's cool that they're changing it, but it's also their own way of being like, "Hey, we're independent," but it's also their own way of being like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Which granted, the Bucks have started pulling all 2 sweet stuff that because they were told to. But they even say like, "Hey, this will probably be the best thing that's ever happened to us. You know, we got to do this for a while. Now we get to make up something that's our own."
Yeah.
And if they do come up with something that's even better than the OneSweet or something like that, I'll be like, "Hell yeah, you know, cool." Like I'll support the Bucks and Kenny and all the guys in the Bullet Club for everything they are. They're all great wrestlers, great people. It does suck that WWE was shitty enough to be like, "Hey, fuck you," and did it. But as well, they've all turned them down so many times that this WWE at this point is probably like, "Fuck them." Like, we're gonna get them our own way.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so look up for them #OneSweet T-shirts. Probably, she'll be fucking rad. But so we were talking about this earlier, bringing it up now because it some of it pertains to New Japan Ring of Honor, some of it we don't know where it's gonna go. Neville quit, walked out on Lumberjack match night. He was set to face Enzo Amore in the Lumberjack match, and it was going to be a non-title match. He was going to go over in this non-title match and beat Enzo Amore. And then that way it made Enzo look weak, looked like a bad champ.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because they weren't putting the title back onto him, or if it was because that was going to end his storyline in the main spot, I guess, or what. But he walked out, and they changed everything last minute to, "Hey, instead of you debuting tomorrow night, we're going to debut tonight, Kalisto," and all that stuff. And so it's one of those things, man, that you never know. It hasn't really gotten out yet of what pissed him off. Some people are saying that it's storyline issues. Some people are saying that it's treatment issues. But he did leave He has asked for his release.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, I don't think it's been granted, but it usually is a 2 to 3 week period before they'll be like, fine, have your release.
Yeah.
Now the rumor has it that he has been offered a sentence, not like, or I say sentence, that's not a good thing to say about that, but he's been offered like the option
Yeah.
of if he signs a release or a non-disclosure form that to not talk about what happened, then they will let him go back so he can join possibly Marty Scurll in the best of Super Junior Tag Teams.
Mm-hmm.
Or Junior Tag Teams, or whatever the Junior Tag... I always forget what the Junior Tag Team tournament is called because I'm an idiot. But yeah, the main thing right now is apparently Neville wants to go home to New Japan. The first day that he got mad... one of the first things that I think started it is Enzo keeps getting new merch.
Mm-hmm.
Neville hadn't had new merch in a minute, and he had that belt around his waist for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he put out a t-shirt, they gave him a retro-looking shirt that said, Neville, King of the Cruiserweights. And that was it. And he was like, guess this is the horrendous thing I'm supposed to wear. And it was one of those things on Twitter, and then immediately Matt Jackson puts, I think you'd look better in this shirt. And it was the Bullet Club shirt, like original. And I was like, ooh, or the new logo that we all know, not the original logo. I say that like, oh yeah, he gave him an original bullet logo, but you know, the logo that everyone knows and loves.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, you'd look a whole lot better in this shirt. And what I think happened is because he does know all those guys, he may have been like, well, if I was to leave, what are the chances I could be with you guys?
Yeah.
And with Marty needing a partner for the tag tournament, it would be great. And then Marty, of course, put that on Twitter like, I do need a partner. Who says it wouldn't be great? And it's him and Neville like holding their belts like, hey. And it's like, I could dig it, man. Neville returning to New Japan as a heel, just keeping that heel persona that he's got and coming out with the Bullet Club, and just don't let him debut with matches. Have like Marty be like, oh, my partner will be there. Don't worry. And then when it's like, who's his partner going to be? It just starts out with 4444 life. And then Neville walk out with whatever his new music is, or to Bullet Club music.
Yeah.
And he'd just come out in a Bullet Club shirt and just be like, oh shit, we're done. Here we go. Because then you could put him with Will Ospreay, Kushida, everyone, and have him in the best of the Super Juniors next year again. Whoo, boy. Because that was the thing. Last time we got to see him in New Japan was best of the Super Juniors 2012, and then he came to WWE. Thinking that might be where he's going.
It'd be a good place.
If the rumor's true and the non-disclosure form is a thing, and they will not grant, and if he signs it, they won't hit him with that 90-day non-compete. He'll be there for the tag tournament, I think. If not, and they hit him with a 90-day compete, then that would be around Mania weekend when he'd be able to compete. Is that right? Maybe a little bit before Mania weekend, after Rumble.
90 days is what? 3 months?
3 months.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be able to be at Wrestle Kingdom at least.
Yeah.
But he could debut on the tour after Wrestle Kingdom.
Because January, end of March, into April, that's close to Mania.
Well, if they say they grant him his release next week,
yeah,
that would be all of November, all of December, all of January, so February. So
it'd be before Mania.
Yeah, you could have him back by at least the second U.S. show that they plan to do.
Yeah.
And then you could have him on Ring of Honor for Mania weekend on that card with Marty or somebody. But to go with that, Nia Jax walked out. Nia Jax was supposed to be on the pre-show for TLC against Sasha Banks. Alicia Fox got all those matches. So Alicia Fox was pumped into Nia Jax's stuff and was given the push Nia Jax was going to get. So now she's going to be the leader of the women at Survivor Series. She beat Sasha at Money in the Bank TLC pre-show, and then she got to be in the matches, all the matches before TLC because Nia walked out. Big thing with that is people are saying that it's more of a she wanted time off.
That she didn't grant her time off.
But the big thing that most people are saying is that she just left.
Yeah.
Like, it was the same thing. She wasn't happy with what was going down, wasn't happy with where her push was going, left. As far as I'm aware, that's the only Anoha that has ever just been like, fuck it, no, and just left. Which is, if I was her, I'd be a little upset because Usos are getting a good push. The Rock might be coming back for Mania. All that stuff. It's like, damn, everyone would be getting a good push. Where's Nia?
Yeah.
But, you know, she might work out her things. People have had trouble in the past and come back and stuff like that. Same with Dwayne. He's gotten into it with some people before and then just been like, ah, fuck it, I'm back. And so you never know what could happen, but she might have fucking CM Punk'd it and Neville'd it and just been like, I'm done, fuck this shit, and left, which she could go to. As much as I hate it, NWA is about to, or not hate it, because NWA is probably going to do really good when their show starts in March. Go talk to Billy Corgan, get a contract over there. Go talk to Jeff Jarrett. Go wherever GFW is going to fucking be now that TNA is back to being TNA. And not GFW Wrestling anymore. Or I guess they're still just Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
But it's that whole fucking shindig with, I didn't have it wrote down, but in case y'all did not hear, Jeff Jarrett did separate completely from Impact Wrestling and GFW. So now all GFW belts go back with Jeff Jarrett. So after they already did the unification matches, they're now going to have to give like Eli Drake, and which I didn't, is bound, if Bound for Glory already happened. I'm really bad with keeping up with Impact because I just can't give a shit. But the last time I looked, the champions were Eli Drake, the new guys from Detroit, tag team wise, Sienna, and I know King of the Mountain champion was, I don't remember. I don't remember who the X Division champ was either. But it's like they're all gonna have Impact titles again. So it's like, I hope they didn't get rid of those Impact titles. Hope they're still in a cage somewhere that can be like, here, take them. Oh boy, I don't know what's going on with Jeff Jarrett. I don't know why he keeps partnering with people and then leaving, partnering and leaving. And then, in case y'all didn't see, GFW has been running their shows on like certain channels, and so one of the champions or one of the things the other night was the glorious one, Bobby Roode, making his debut in. It's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have said the glorious one, as well as like, it's like, oh yeah, in case you didn't know, he's gonna be leaving for the WWE. It's like, okay, yeah, you pre-taped this shit fucking like a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
like Gallows and Anderson are on there. Like, it's like, that's what they're banking on, is that all these people, like the Bullet Club, were there. It's like, they're banking on all of this stuff, selling it, but it's like, dude, why didn't you fucking air that shit sooner? Even if it was only in Japan. They filmed most of it in Japan. Like, you should have just been like, okay, we'll have a show in Japan. We'll just film it. Like, we've got, say they had 12 episodes. Cool, that's 3 months. That gives you 3 months to find more stuff to shoot.
Yeah.
Should have just done it, but who knows? No idea, but that's like a shit show. A big thing for me, because it's great. Chucky T returned.
I don't know who that is.
Oh boy, you don't know who Sexy Chucky T is. So, have you've been watching Being the Elite and keeping up? He's the guy that he walked up to Jay Lethal and them and took the coffee, drank the coffee, threw it on the ground, and then he was like, "Who's sitting here?" And they're like, oh, that's where Case is. And he's like, not any fucking more, it's not. And I threw the stuff down, he sat down, he's just like,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Chucky T's back. They immediately threw him into the Chaos versus Bullet Club match. And one of the things that happened in that match, and it made me happy, were him and Trent looking at each other and going, and the crowd going, whoa! And then them hugging each other, and then the camera rainmakering out like, ah! On the hug. And so it was like, oh man, because they used to be Dustin and Greg, best friends forever.
Oh my god.
And so, but now he always goes by Trent and Chaos and everything, and everyone is thinking that because he's a heavyweight now and he couldn't team with Rocky anymore, that maybe they're going to put Chucky T and Trent together and they'll be Roppongi Vice now instead of Trent and Beretta. Beretta and Romero, and so it's like, oh, dude, give me Chucky T. And him like, they don't have to be Dustin and Greg, the best friends forever. They can just be like Chucky T and Trent, and it just be the new Roppongi Vice, and I'd be like, yes, give it to me now. Give that to me right now. Because all their intros, anytime they like double somebody and they go to do the dive and they don't and they just hug each other, I'd be like, yes. Because it just goes back to good old PWG days of like them doing it and everything. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy they did that in the middle of the match. Because Chucky T's interview afterwards his tweet afterwards of things I learned this weekend. 1, I had Kenny Omega pinned. 2, think I'm in chaos now and I'm not really sure what that means. 3, it is so good to be back. And it's just like, man, I'm so happy about that. And he did. Him and fucking Kenny, dude. When he did like the power drop to Kenny, and like he sat there and the ref was distracted, which I think it was the Bucks distracted him. But he was sitting there like this, like it with the whole crowd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like counting with him, and Kenny just being like, trying to kick out. It was just, it was so great, dude. Like, especially for them to put Chucky over the way they were. Even though I believe Bullet Club won the match, but it was still so sick, dude. And it was great. But be on the lookout for Chucky T. Give me them new Chucky T t-shirts right now. I need one in my life.
Can they make one that's like Chuck E. Cheese, but just says Chuck E. T?
Oh, fuck. I need that. That would be so sick. Just because we're running a little bit longer than we thought we were. Just to give a little bit of rundown. Raw / SmackDown have both happened already this week.
Mm-hmm.
Raw, pretty much just boil out from TLC. Big thing was the SmackDown invasion.
Yeah.
Hashtag Under Siege. Yeah. And him coming back and being like I said, Under Siege. And then them just beating the living hell out of the Raw locker room. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, man, like them being like, oh, Titus Worldwide, boom, and just like sucker punching people. Yeah. Chad Gable going right after Jason Jordan. The women just smacking the hell out of each other. The Shield trying to come in and do something, yeah. And just there was too many of them to count.
You might say that SmackDown laid the SmackDown on them.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. And my thing is, it was hilarious because AJ was there to do a 6-man tag match, mm-hmm. Which was cool. He helped the baby faces get over a little bit with it. But then, of course, Kane came out, squashed everyone. Balor came out. He squashed Balor, which made no sense, but okay. I guess it's a way to put Kane over when you just put Finn over as big as he did the night before. And then wasn't really a lot more noteworthy matches. Mm-hmm. Like we already spoke with Elias smacking the shit out of Jason Jordan with a guitar and leaving the big ass whelp on his arm.
Mm-hmm. And
what was the main event
for last night or Monday?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
That's me not doing my research enough. Hell, we watched it. I can't even remember because the last thing that happened was the invasion,
mm-hmm.
and it just happened so fast.
Was that the end of it?
Yeah, that was the end. That was the very end.
Invasion.
But I'm trying to think of what the match was right before the invasion. I can't.
Wasn't it Shield and Miz again?
No, that was the opener match.
Oh,
it was the first match of the night.
Okay.
Was it something to do with the... Oh, was it the Alicia Fox and like Alicia winning the right to be captain?
I don't know.
I thought that was earlier on too. I don't know. Raw was weird last night.
Kind of just all
ran together. Yeah. SmackDown was tonight. Of course, next week on SmackDown we'll get Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which we're pretty sure they're just going to put Roode over in this feud.
Well, yeah. It's a smart thing to do.
Yeah. So. We got Becky Lynch is now the captain of the women's team at Survivor Series. Sami Zayn fought Randy Orton. Kevin Owens came out to help. Randy heel attacking with the thing and an RKO in him. Yeah. Pinning him in front of or with Owens and just staring Owens down the whole time. And then New Day took on American Beta 1? Yeah, because they used the heel tactics on the ring. One. Yeah. Which they are the number 1 contenders for the titles, which probably won't take place till after Survivor Series. We got Pulp Files or Fiction Files, whatever they're calling it. I think it's Pulp Files. But man, when the only baby faces you have left are the Ascension and the Fashion Police. Okay, give it to me. Give me the
with
Fashion
Ellsworth,
Police.
just like
Just Ellsworth being there, and then Carmelo being like, "Hey, what's going on?" And them trying to take the briefcase. Like, give us the briefcase. Give it to us. I fucking love Fandango and Tyler Breeze, man. Breezango all day. Fashion Police forever. The Ascension, I love that they're using them with them because it makes the Ascension have something to do and it makes them relevant. Damn, dude, knock that backdrop a little bit.
Yeah. Half a backdrop.
Yeah, half of it. You can't see the other half of it. Was that every match?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was every match because then it was a Jinder talking about Paul Heyman accepting the match and being like, "You're a coward." Oh, AJ versus one of the Singh brothers. And he made him tap real fucking quick. Okay. And so it was like, because he was fighting on Jinder's behalf.
Yeah.
And so he beat him. So he'll probably squash the other Singh brother next week. And then he'll have a match with Jinder. And then Survivor Series will happen. I don't know what I expect from NXT this week. Last week was pretty good for NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Real solid.
The women's match last week was really good.
Yeah, it was. Holy hell, man. That fucking Eclipse looked real crazy. And I'm not an Ember Moon fan, but man, she hit that perfectly with the other two of them just like that. And we were like, damn. And then I'll be the first one. Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream is going to be fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's either going to be that Macho Man elbow off the top from Velveteen or a Black Mass. And I think whoever hits it first wins. And that's going to be a sick match.
I think this week they'll have more Adam Cole.
Oh, yeah. House show for San Antonio. The title match was, unless it's going to be on TV and I'm crazy, but it's McIntyre versus Cole for the title with Shawn Michaels as the referee. So that's probably pretty much a house show probably because it's at Shawn Michaels at his hometown. To be like, oh, hey, look, I'm coming out. I'm doing my thing. And I think it'll be fun. But McIntyre will retain because they won't let him lose the... If they let him lose the title to Cole, like they did Balor and Joe, then, okay. Cool shit. But I don't see that happening. If they were to do it and he came out and be like, I was able to beat him wherever I wanted or something like that, and then... I'm ready to see Adam Cole come out with the belt on his waist and whole crowd be like, bye-bye. He'll be so sick. But yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown for them for the week. ROH looks like it's going to be good this week. New Japan Tour is supposed to be really good coming up. A lot of good indie shows coming up too that are pretty sick. Wrestle Circus just had their 1-year anniversary show. It was pretty rad. I'll break that down for someone later. Might talk about that next show a little bit just to give Wrestle Circus a nice little plug. But speaking of plugs, you know what's really cool?
What?
Social media.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't use it a whole lot, but...
Alright, see, I use it a lot. I use it pretty much a lot. And you know what's great about it?
Where do you go when you use it?
When I go to it, I usually go to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And you can find us on all of those places. So you can go to facebook.com/PacoGeeks and you can find every episode of POG is War uploaded right there when it's good to go. You also follow us on Instagram and Twitter @PacoGeeks. We are going to start the show, its own Twitter, for POG is War, so we can give you some more wrestling updates and wrestling news. Give us a little bit on that so we can get it set up to be for a smooth start on Twitter with it. But you can find us on soundcloud.com/pack-ogeeks and on iTunes.
This one will be on iTunes.
Yes, this one will be on iTunes as well. Go to iTunes, search Pack of Geeks, and you'll be able to find every episode of POG is War there from here on out. And you can listen to our other show called The Committee, where we break down different topics on different shows, movies, games, nerdy stuff in general. This past week's episode that will be uploaded will be all about YouTube and the ups and downs of it, everything that's happened from the beginning to now. And you can listen to last week's episode, which was all about Cyberpunk and Blade Runner 2049. Make sure you check out last episode of POG is War as well. We did talk some news on there that was really nice. And keep up with us on here. We're going to try to keep updating. We're going to try to make the show shorter, tighter, better. I'm going to try to work on a better podcast voice for all of you people out there that want to
That's
listen
fine.
to it. This is the first time that we have actually tested out a video for POG is War as well.
Yeah.
If it gets uploaded, awesome. You can watch that on YouTube and everything when the YouTube is all set up. And if not, you'll just get to hear our sweet, sweet voices and deal with that until we get some video for you.
Sultry voices.
Ooh, I like that. So, once again, thank you guys for listening. Once again, I'm your host, Cody Wilson, and I'm here always with the Jolly One, Richard. Until next time, we will see you.
See ya.